Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel and thank you for clicking on the video. This is going to be a really quick one. I want to talk about one of the newest arcanes that dropped with 1999 called Arcane Truculence. Similar to Bellicose, it is somewhat niche. There's only a certain amount of Warframes in the game that can really benefit. However, this one doesn't rely on HP, this one relies on Overguard. So, how it works is Arcane Truculence, when gaining 3,000 or more Overguard threshold, release a 30-meter radial attack that applies max viral stacks. Now, there is a cap to this. If you are at max Overguard threshold, so for Kullervo, mine's a little north of 22,000, you will no longer proc the viral stacks. You have to be missing at least a little bit of Overguard when you're close to max in order to continue to spam it and apply max viral in a 30-meter radius. Now, this is really good on Kullervo for a number of reasons. Kullervo is pretty bad in my opinion. He still struggles with a lot of CC type skills. Now, Overguard can prevent the status, but obviously the output of damage in the later levels of the game can hurt Kullervo tremendously. But with this arcane, you'll notice that he has quite a bit of survivability now that they can't just immediately constantly shoot them. So you'll notice it works somewhat like Nourish, where they're somewhat staggered for about 3 whole seconds. This is very, very strong for Kullervo. He needs that type of help because his Overguard is all he has. He has no shield, and at only 1200 HP, you're going to get melted. But as long as you continue to apply your second skill, you're in the clear. It's pretty good. Now, I elected to apply Roar as well onto the kit, and I like to use Piercing Roar, which is just another form of CC, and helping Kullervo survive just a little bit better now that he can knock over and blind. And of course, we apply our 3 and our 1, and you actually start doing some pretty good damage. Now, is this going to be the sweeping replacement for Nourish across the entire game? Absolutely not. Nourish can still be used on any frame and is still a wonderful choice as a subsumability. In my opinion, it's top 3. However, if you have a Warframe like Dante, or in this case Kullervo, this is a easy choice to apply. Rather than subsuming an ability over your kit, you can just simply slot in an arcane and use some other subsume, or if you prefer, use the base kit as intended. Now, obviously, Nourish will give you energy back and increase your viral damage overall. This arcane doesn't do any of that. It is a simple 10 stack viral applied to any enemy within 30 meters once you actually receive or apply Overguard to yourself. So there's some give and takes, but obviously I think Nourish is still a clear winner in this battle, quote unquote. However, depending on what Warframe you use, I think the arcane is a better choice. Now, this is really good on Kullervo, like I mentioned, but obviously this arcane will work with frames like Dante, Frost, and Ember with their augments, and whatever other ways you can apply or receive Overguard, like Rhino and whatnot. But I really think this is just a Kullervo augment or arcane. Kullervo has the quickest, fastest way to apply Overguard, and he needs the most help out of all those frames. So we'll quickly showcase the build. This is just a really quick video. My build for Kullervo hasn't changed too much in the last few years that he's been out. Kullervo, Steel Charge, because he is a melee-centric frame. We are using Precision Intensify to pair with Roar. Now, Piercing Roar is totally subjective. This is just something that I like to use. The extra puncture status can help with your crit. The knockdown is also really helpful for a frame like Kullervo. And of course, we have the new arcane here. Multi-augmented, strength, range. We just want a good amount of strength and a good amount of range. The duration isn't too important. We did take off his 4 for Roar, like I mentioned, but for Forma, this is really good for a frame like Kullervo. Obviously, it'll work with the other frames that can apply Overguard to yourself and allies, like Dante. However, I just don't see those frames really benefiting from it, specifically Frost, because Frost is so good, and when you utilize an extra augment in that slot, you're missing out on tons of other better augments that are better suited for Frost. The reason this is so good for Kullervo, like I said, is he has trouble surviving, in my opinion. As long as you continue to spam, right, he really suffers from the oh shit, I need to spam my abilities to survive syndrome. I say it's a lot more lenient now thanks to this arcane. So yeah, we're taking a lot of damage. We get a little bit of stagger for the enemies where they can't just immediately kill you. I think it's really strong and definitely worth your time farming for, ranking up, and getting. So other than that, that is pretty much the video there. Definitely recommend you go get this Arcane. It's very strong on Kullervo. This isn't a deep dive on Kullervo or anything. I have a video on my channel covering Kullervo, but this Arcane I think is worth your time if you like playing Kullervo or frames like Dante and Ember and whatnot. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Check out some of my other videos on my channel, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.